here in my jail cell. Just got this new cellmate. Yeah, ever since I got life in prison, Ty's been teaching me about knowledge. But you know what I like better than freedom? Knowledge. Truthfully, Mang, I'd really rather fucking have bail money. If you want to learn how to get out of jail fast, buy my $67 course. This motherfucker just can't help himself. What's up, guys? It's Frankie. In this video, I want to show you guys how Tai Lopez scammed a bunch of people. And really, the truth be told, these ideas can be used both for good and for evil. So I want to show you guys something that you can actually use to be able to grow your own online business, but to use them ethically and not to fuck people over in the process. For those of you guys who don't know me already, my name's Frankie Finn. I wrote these 2 best-selling books. This baby right here, Passive Automated Recurring Income, you can find a link to below this video. Let's get into the good stuff, starting with Act 1.
Yo, it's Frankie Finn. Beach mode engaged. Looms loaded, AI's humming. Let's go!
All right, guys, so back in 2015, Tai Lopez blew up. For those of you guys who don't know, he had, I believe, the highest viewed video ever that was a non-entertainment video. So there's like music and cooking and things like that that have higher views. But he, of all the educational content ever produced on YouTube, and he would run these YouTube ads that were him in his garage, standing next to a Lamborghini, pointing to some books and saying, I found some mentors and my life changed, and you can get the secrets inside of my $67 course. I believe that video got to 60 or 70 million different views or something like that. And what was the promise inside of that big $67 course? Well, none other than this.
$1 million.
And by the way, really important detail, Tai didn't invent any of these strategies. He just used them. In many ways, he used them better than anyone else had done them before. All right, so let's move on to Act 2 and let's actually talk about how Tai actually did it. And the first thing I want to show you guys is a couple of the strategies that he used. And the first and probably most important thing, and this is one of the most oldest tricks in the book, is called visual cues, right? Is you want to basically show people pictures of wealth. So for those of you guys who are old like me, you may have been around in the 80s when there were guys like Carlton Sheets or Tom Vu. By the way, if you've never seen Tom Vu, do yourself a favor and watch his videos. He was this Vietnamese guy and he would run these real estate things and say, you want to get rich in real estate? Come to my seminar. And it would show him on a boat with like 12 bikini babes and bad editing, and he would hold up a check. And there were lots of visual cues in there. One of those is the fancy car. Another of those is the boat. Another one of those is the big house. And another of those is the check, right? And in the case of Tom Vu, it had the babes, right? So this is a playbook that's as old as time. And if you simply include these elements in your video, by the way, there's been thousands and thousands of gurus who've been busted where the car is rented, the boat isn't theirs, the house they're standing in front of isn't actually their house, the check, anybody can get a fake printed check, the babes, they can be rented. In fact, there is a company right now, you guys can look them up on the internet, in Los Angeles, and it is just for influencers, and it is a private jet company that never takes off. You only do one thing, is you stand there and you pose with your buddies and you take pictures and you go, look at us, we're flying private, aren't we cool and fancy? And you actually don't fucking go anywhere, and it is just to show off visual cues on social media. So this is actually the biggest reason Tai went viral, is the 2 biggest cues that he used were the Lambo and the bookshelf, which leads into the second thing. The second thing that Tai did, let's put a number on this, number 2, is the authority flex. And in this case, Tai used I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books. So I must know some shit because I read a lot of books. By the way, if you got a big ass bookshelf, there's no guarantee you actually read any of it. But Tai used this as a powerful, powerful way to illustrate I must know a lot of shit because I got a big old bookshelf. Okay, third piece of the puzzle that he used is a backstory. And you'll see a lot of people when they use this, it's almost always a rags to riches. I was broke. I was down and out. I was smoking crack, sleeping on my friend's couch. In Ty's case, it was like I only had $47 in the bank, and then I found blah, blah, blah. And almost always, by the way, whatever they found is the thing that they're leading you in to buy. So in his case, It was some mentors, and I'll put all the information that the mentors gave me inside of a book, inside of a video, inside of a training, inside of a thing that you have to sign up for, inside of a thing that you have to buy. And it almost always has this sort of rags to riches. And part of the reason is they're selling the idea, which by the way is generally not true, is that anyone can do it, right? If anyone could do it, then everyone would be doing it, right? Nobody would have a fucking job if anyone on planet Earth could be doing it. But nonetheless, the backstory makes it seem like maybe this is the magic thing I've been looking for. Let's talk about the next piece. Good old FOMO. For those of you guys who are in crypto, you know the FOMO all too well. And a lot of the crypto is just people doing this.
It's me, Tug!
It's me, Tug.
That's right. Now, Tug who?
Tug who? I don't know. Who are you?
Me? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
What?
By the way, that's a fucking great clip. So a lot of the FOMO comes in the form of there's only 2 spots left. Closes tonight. By the way, if you want to do this ethically and not fuck people over, what I suggest is on your stuff, create bonuses that do in fact expire for real. And it's not like you're saying you can't get this thing forever, but you're saying the bonus goes away. So like if I was selling dinner as a restaurant, I'd say for a limited time, you can also get a free apple pie with dinner. And if you don't get it now, like ethically, I'm not saying you won't be able to buy my food tomorrow. You just won't get the apple pie bonus included as a freebie, right? So there are ways to use FOMO ethically without actually telling people this is, by the way, Tai ran this shit for like 10 years. So obviously like the FOMO was exaggerated. By the way, this is a wild one if you get to watch it. There's a thing, if you've ever read a guy named Robert Cialdini, talks about something called social proof, is that we are herd creatures and generally people don't have time to look into everything. And so we just assume that the consensus must be right. By the way, this is almost never true in actual real life, like highest sense of truth. But there's some really interesting experiments that have been done on this. And one of those is, there's an experiment where they did online. They had a person in a waiting room, and they were a real person in the waiting room, and everybody else was an actor. And they would play a beep, and everybody would stand up at the beep. And eventually the person who was like not the actor just started standing up every time there was a beep and doing it because everyone else was doing it. And then one by one, they replaced each actor in the room with a real person until they had like 10 real people. And all 10 real people would get up at the beep. And none of them knew why they were fucking doing it, because human beings are programmed to look to other people, especially in unknown, unfamiliar social situations. So what this means is a lot of those gurus and Tai are using fake screenshots, fake testimonials, asking their friends to review their products, asking people they know, because they know that humans are more likely to believe and go along with something social proof. By the way, I just can't help it. I got to write on an angle, so don't hate me for doing that. Next piece of the puzzle is what I call value anchoring, right? In Tai's case, he says, you're going to get $10,000 worth of materials for just 67 bucks. By the way, especially with digital shit, who decides if it's worth 10,000? We do, the one who creates it, right? It's totally a made up thing. By the way, if you guys are interested in finding out how to actually engineer your own funnels to sell stuff, you can find a link for this baby right here, passive automated recurring income, right below this video. Oh, I'm going to make all this fall down. Good old Eric Bakey, my co-author, his name has fallen down. So when it comes to value anchoring, what we want to do is establish the fact that whatever price they're paying, the value for it is sometimes 100x, right? That you're going to learn secrets, right? Like that's one of those magic teaser words. It's like there's some kind of secret that if you just knew the secrets, you would get it. And when you start to stack these things, you can see the power of what Tai was doing. Visual cues, a Lambo, big old books, a backstory, a FOMO, you got to act now. Other people are going along with this, and there's so much value packed in there, you simply got to go along with it. So I want to be really, really clear that there's nothing wrong with inherently with using these strategies. It's really the intention behind it. Are you actually trying to lift up people? Like if you're trying to sell your own stuff, add value to the world, actually help people, really care about people, and want to help them achieve more meaningful results in whatever area of their life, their health, their wealth, their relationships, their spirituality, and so forth. It's nothing about the tactics that's bad. It's that so many people are really dressing up $67 age-old success principles that really haven't changed in 100 years, as if there's some sort of new secret and this is how you get the big Lambo and this is how I went from sleeping on a couch to becoming a trillionaire, and you got to act now and this is what everybody else is doing, get it before it lasts. So it's really about the strategies themselves are as age-old as time. It's really about using those for ethical reasons to actually help people to get what they want. By the way, fun little fact, we grew up poor in my house. That's my real backstory. That's not like we're sleeping on a couch and I had just $10 left to my name. But I never got to eat the fancy cereal. My mom always bought the generic brand. So now, thanks to the magic of artificial intelligence, I get to live out my dream, which looks kind of like this.
Some call it self-care. I call it sensational.
Oh yeah, that is the best kind of cereal ever made, baby. Anybody who says otherwise is wrong, but if you want to argue with me, let's do it in the comments. So one of the things I wanted to mention to you guys, if you guys want to actually ethically help people get results, I got a link for my book below this video, and I'll tell you where the biggest opportunity is today, is that really for people to get famous on the internet in this day and age, all they really need is what you're seeing, is I'm recording these on an iPhone. And in doing so, there's literally millions of people that have built channels and followings, and they have no idea how to monetize them. They have no idea how to create offers and value for people. And rather than you having to get tens of millions of followers, you can simply tap into somebody else's product, somebody else's following, and really put things together. I call this digital deal making. And if you guys are interested in seeing how it works, check out the link below, because again, these tactics can be used for both good and for evil, and I want to show you the ethical way of actually helping people to get what they want and how to enhance real value, not just price anchoring where you say it's worth $10,000, but bringing real $10,000 worth of value by creating bonuses and tools like that. And if you do that, you can create income streams for you that don't require you to fulfill on anything. And there's really a magic to doing that. And you can use some of these same strategies, but again, use them for good and not for evil. So if you're not already subscribed, I want you to subscribe, hit that old button. I don't know, people on YouTube say you got to smash that subscribe button. I'm okay with you just pushing it. You don't have to smash it over here. You can just like it. And if you want to argue with me about cereal, let's do that in the old comment section. That's all I got for you guys in this video, and may the Triforce be with you.